that a school district does. And I think that's borne out by the fact that our firm represents right now approximately 25 different school districts as a solicitor. We represent lots more school districts in a variety of ways. And those ways include such things as labor counsel, special counsel. We're in the midst of an investigation for the McKeesport School District outside of Pittsburgh right now, where we serve as special counsel. We've been involved in special education cases. Some of the folks in our firm specialize in special education. Tom Breth, my partner, and Ron Repack, my partner in our Evansburg office. We have 4 offices, by the way, and those offices include one small office in Florida, where we have 2 Pennsylvania lawyers who are sometimes in Florida. Most of that work down there is estates and tax work. But much of our work is school work. We have represented school districts as long as I've been with the firm, and back to the year 1947 when the firm was founded by 3 gentlemen who, all of whom represented school districts. We've represented IUs, we've represented schools, we've represented special schools, we've represented both techs. There isn't a type of school that we haven't represented. And we've done that in a variety of ways. We serve as labor counsel sometimes as special education counsel. We're involved in finance issues and bond issues. We're involved in discipline issues. We're involved sometimes in litigation. With respect to the firm, there are 19 lawyers in the firm. And you would see some of those folks here at Big Spring. Andrea Parenti would have been with me tonight, but she's at another meeting. Andrea Parenti is the former president of the Pennsylvania School Board Solicitors Association. She does a lot of work for us in the labor field, either labor negotiations or dealing with grievances or student discipline. Tom Breth, who is my partner, is a specialist, as I said earlier, along with Ron Repack of our firm in special education. And we have a number of people. Jordan Schuber, who might also be here, is a school solicitor in a couple different school districts, and is involved often with me in litigation when that arises. So we're a firm that we think can do just about whatever you need to have done here with respect to that. Our philosophy is this: we believe in local control, and by local control I mean that we are lawyers and we represent the wishes of the school board, our client. And the school board, of course, is elected in Pennsylvania to represent the people of their community. So we believe that local control is the most important aspect of a school board. We've fought for local control in a variety of cases in a variety of places. And so we're governed by our actions as your lawyers, as your solicitors, by the wishes of that school board. There are 9 people on the school board, and the majority, of course, of 5 can decide what the policy of the school district will be. Whatever your policy is, if it's not illegal, we'll be happy to support you. We'll tell you if we think it's illegal. We'll express our opinions if you ask us about the legality of it. But the policy issue itself is decided by the people that are elected to the school board, not by the solicitor, nor should it ever be. So we work regularly. You have a very fine superintendent here in your district. We would look forward to working with him and with your staff. You have a wonderful campus. I had the opportunity tonight to take another tour around and take a look at the buildings and the campus. You have a great campus here, and the buildings are wonderful. And so you have a very astute board. I had the opportunity to meet with the board members. The last time I was out, had a nice opportunity to have a conversation with the board members. I would also tell you that with respect to the school district actions that are taken at a board meeting, we would be willing to be here on some occasions, as the board might wish. And so part of our proposal is to attend, if you wish, live the board meetings that you want us to attend. We're also willing to do that. Some places we do them all live. Sometimes we do them in a combination of Zoom or live. So other times we do them on the phone. So whatever your preference is here, I'm happy to work with you on that. And part of our proposal includes that. We also had a proposal, and I had spoken to the superintendent recently to to ask about whether you had a foundation here, and I came to learn that you have a Bulldog Foundation. We're also, part of our proposal includes our ability to help you with that foundation. We have tax lawyers, we have other lawyers that work for nonprofits, and so as part of our contribution to the school district, we like to contribute to where we work and to be part of what's going on at the school district. So as I said, we have, I believe we're a solicitor at 25 different school districts. So we like to be part of those school districts, and so part of our proposal is to include assisting you if you need help with the foundation. We can do that by way of the filing of your 990s, which is the tax return for a foundation. We can also assist you in following best practices with respect to raising money or having events, those kind of things. So we're very conversant with the law on those types of activities, and we've done that at many school districts. And I was glad to hear that you had a foundation. It's a good thing to do. We see the foundation supplementing what the school district can do for the staff, for teachers, for kids. And so we're always have to be part of that. And so that's part of the proposal that we put on the table here tonight. I don't want to consume all the time. I know we have a short amount of time. I think I've covered the things that we do and who we are. And who we are is a multi-purpose law firm that represents a number of people throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Some of our clients are in the Harrisburg area. We come to the Harrisburg area fairly often because we're often in the Supreme Court, Superior Court, Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania, also in the administrative agencies that are here in the Capitol, and so we're not infrequent visitors to this area, and so we're quite interested in having the opportunity to represent Big Spring. We'd like to do so. It's a fine district, and I'm glad to answer any questions that you may have for me.
So at this time, if any of the board members have any comments or questions, this is the second time that we've had a meeting, per se, to discuss your qualifications, your interest, your ability to work with us as a board.
Maybe I should also tell you, I'm a proud graduate of Dickinson School of Law in Carlisle. So I spent 3 years in Carlisle, and in the 3 years I was in Carlisle, I never made it into the Carlisle newspaper. But I was at Big Spring only once, and I was on the front page. So my parents, looking down, would probably look down and say, "We told you to stay out of the newspaper." And so they would be right. But you know, I came out again because I'd like to answer any questions anybody has, and we're not adverse to being in the newspaper, but usually we like to be in there for other reasons, you know. Giving good advice is one, and supporting the district, defending the district when it needs defended, getting to the right conclusion in cases, which sometimes means defending the district, sometimes means working out solutions to problems. We like to think we try to solve problems. We like to think that we try to make things happen. There's lots of lawyers you can hire to do this job. Your current solicitors have a fine reputation as a law firm. I'm not here to say anything bad or anything at all about the firm. I know the firm. I don't know the current solicitor, but I'm not here to say anything bad about anybody. We saw your RFP. We answered the bell, and we would be proud to represent the district if you'd have us. So.
Thank you.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. We do want to thank you for coming this evening and coming the other time too. The board at this point is just looking for information. Again, we haven't made any decisions. It's not on the agenda this evening. It could be on the agenda for the February 7th meeting, or excuse me, October, thank you. October 7th meeting. And we wanted the whole board present also. We not only express opinions, ideas, and discussion, but before any vote would occur, we knew that 2 of our board members could not be with us this evening, and unfortunately we have a 3rd one that was not with us. So I don't have any questions. I do want to say that when you were here before, I think you impressed the board with your personality of wanting to work with us and seem to be on the same page. And just like tonight, you didn't use any notes. You kind of just spoke from your heart, I think, as you were sharing. You have defined some of your costs that you would incur with us. And I think the board felt some of those were reasonable. So that's what I would share. Any other board members like to share or discuss? Any other questions you have for us, Mr. King?
I know, but I'd welcome, be glad to speak to anybody in the community that wants to talk to me before I hop in my car tonight. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer them, and I'm glad to come out again and appreciate the opportunity to do so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. King. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm Dave. I'm part of the Supervisors Council. See my action up on the newspaper again. But I'm wondering if will you be like the single person that the school will be dealing with, like as a megaphone for the law firm, or will they be dealing with a whole bunch of different lawyers?
No, well, I'll be the primary person, at least to begin with. And I spoke to the board about that, and I thought that because we've not been here before, I think it would be helpful. I have a lot of experience that I'd be glad to share. But I would intend to integrate either Matt Geig at our Evansburg office, or Andrew Parenti. Those two would probably be assisting me on various things out here. So that's how we do it elsewhere. So it wouldn't just be one person, but primarily it would be me. At least we'll see if the board likes me or not. You know.
If you want to ask any
They
questions,
might want somebody else.
kind of one-on-one, that's fine. That's a good question to ask, so that you know who would be physically here. But there would be a lot of communications back and forth. That happens a lot, so that we as a board make sure we're doing things correctly. Sometimes we ask questions to our solicitor. Sometimes the solicitor would watch the board meeting and say, hey, you know, I just want to make you aware of this. Sometimes we need to get information that we may not be up to date on. So his job is the law, our job is to govern, and we work together. He doesn't necessarily just protect us, but he is there to give us advice. Is that a good way of putting it, Mr.
Yes,
King?
sir. That's right. And by the way, since I have a couple minutes, so I'll be coming out to chat with you again. One of the things that we've done is represented lots of school districts in some of these cases, like the Jewel case against the anti-vaping campaign, which we thought was a good issue for us because of public health issues. So we represented almost 50 school districts in Pennsylvania, including places like the city of Pittsburgh, against the vaping companies, and we achieved a terrific amount of money for those school districts to fight juvenile smoking and vaping in schools. We were quite successful. We had school districts across the state, places like Coatesville and districts in the east and districts in the west, and Mifflin County all the way up in the north, and places like that. So we have a variety of school districts in that. We're also in the middle of the, and we're doing this in California, so some of us are admitted, especially in California, on those cases. We're also involved in the cases that involve social media and the effect that social media has had, Google and Meta and those groups. And all of these cases are done on a basis of no fee, no recovery, no fee. So there's no expense to the school district. You can join or not join, it doesn't matter, but we want to at least let you know about them. I'm not sure if you've heard about these cases before or not. And the most recent case is the case that I spoke to the superintendent about recently, which is, if you saw the other day, the Federal Trade Commission just filed suit against the manufacturers of insulin. So in the presidential campaign, you've heard both sides talking about lowering the price of insulin. So school districts that are self-funded, which would include Big Spring, you're self-funded. So your costs here on the taxpayers and your costs in your budget of maintaining the school and paying for people's health insurance includes the cost of insulin. And over the years, the United States Senate in the last term did an exhaustive report on what's caused insulin to go up in price. And one of the things we know is that insulin was invented back in 1902, and the person who invented insulin donated the patent to science so that the price would stay down so that average people could continue to get insulin. And so what's happened over the years is the drug manufacturers and some of the middlemen have exponentially increased the cost of insulin to where it got up to it went from $2 and $5 a vial up to $700 a vial. So who is the beneficiary of that? Of course, is the middlemen and the big drug companies, but who paid those tabs? And who paid the tabs of the folks sitting in the auditorium here tonight, as well as the other taxpayers in your district, because within your self-funded plans, you will have people using insulin and insulin-related products, which also include Ozempic and the other new drugs. So the cost of that has gone up so high that when we looked at, we're going to the first district that we're going to represent is the city of Pittsburgh, who will approve this Wednesday night, but we'll be representing other districts across the state. And there is a federal multi-district litigation set up already in New Jersey. So we will, along with other lawyers in the state, be representing a variety of schools from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, against the drug manufacturers and the middlemen who have done this. There are allegations of price fixing, and there are allegations that are included. If you saw a couple days ago, the Federal Trade Commission came out, and this was after I spoke to the superintendent about it, and the Federal Trade Commission came out and filed suit against the same people that we're pursuing in this multi-district litigation in New Jersey. So those are things that I would speak to the board about. We are involved in a lot of things, a lot of different things around the state, so we bring our experience. We bring these things to the board. You're free to be in them or not in them. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to be in them, you can be in them. But at least you ought to know about them. So I think we bring the unique perspective of being able to tell you about things like that that are going on, and we'll make sure that you know.
Thank you, Mr. King. Thank you for being here. We have time now, between now and the next meeting at least, if not further, to deliberate. And the constituents can come to us, either in email or contact. I really encourage you to contact your representative and let your feelings be known, so that we can properly represent you and share things with the community. So thank you, Mr. King.
Well, thank you all in the community for having me out here, and it's a pleasure to see everybody.
Sure. And you'll be out there for at least a few minutes if anyone wants to talk.
I'll be glad to, sure.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, do we have anything else from the board for committee of the whole at this time? Do I have a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole? Motion, Mr. Myers, and second? Second, Mrs. Shea. There is no discussion. I assume everyone's voting in affirmative unless I heard negative or abstain. I declare the committee of the whole meeting adjourned. The time is 7:24. We will wait about 5 minutes before we start the regular board meeting at 7:30. Again, thank you for anyone that is here. Thank you for participating. If you wish to comment under public comment, please bring your cards up at this time. Thank you.